Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself. The head of the Democrat Party was caught on a leaked phone call, literally in tears, breaking down over their sinking popularity, empty bank accounts, and what he admits is a total loss of respect. And while that's happening in Minneapolis, the Democrats hosted the DNC summer meeting, showing that they have not learned a single lesson from their crushing defeat in 2024. Most of them got up there and said nothing of value, and it was very painful to watch. Make sure you like and subscribe and tap the notification bell. Now let's begin. So let's kick things off with the leaked phone call that everyone is talking about.
DNC Chair Ken Martin has been urging Democrats to fight more. We've heard him say that, they've been bringing a knife to a knife fight. Then he says they need to bring a bazooka to a knife fight. Now he says they're bringing a pencil to a knife fight. But back in May, Politico got this recording of him crying on a call amongst Democrats because he felt that David Hogg was making his job harder. Let's take a listen. We'll get your thoughts on the other side.
No one knows who the hell I am. Right. I'm trying to get my sea legs underneath of me and actually develop any amount of credibility so I can go out there and raise the money and do the job I need to put ourselves in a position to win. And again, I don't think you intended this, but you essentially destroyed any chance I have to show the leadership that I need to. So it's really frustrating.
Sounds a little emotional there at the end.
Did you hear that? The man literally said, no one knows who the hell I am, and that he cannot do his job because the party is falling apart around him. He does not sound confident at all. He sounds defeated. And if you thought the emotional breakdown was bad, wait until you hear about their finances. The Democrat National Committee is broke in comparison to the Republican Party. They're trying to figure out how to keep the lights on with talks of borrowing money to do so. The headline from the New York Post reads, Democrats' main fundraising committee is losing big donors and so cash-strapped that its officials have discussed borrowing money just to keep the lights on, with one source spilling to the Post that if things don't turn around before the 2026 midterms, the party is effed. Well, folks, that is not the language of a party on the rise. That's desperation. Meanwhile, what are the Democrats doing while their party is falling apart? They were in Minneapolis hosting a summer meeting that does not appear to provide any real solutions to real issues, but to bash Trump. They could have held this meeting over a Zoom call. But take a listen to the Democratic chair, Ken Martin.
For years, there were values that united us, regardless of ideology, regardless of party. Values that weren't Republican or Democrat, but American values. Values like respect for our Constitution, a belief in the rule of law, a belief in due process and separation of powers, a free and fair press, standing with our allies around the world to protect emerging democracies and so on. But now we have one side led by a dictator-in-chief who's decided to throw these values into the dustbin of history.
The Democrats need someone with vision, someone who can rally donors and voters. But instead, they have a timid chair who's more worried about pleasing the far-left radicals than fixing the party. And when he tried to rally the crowd at the summer meeting, it was painful. Like, he was wondering, like, what's wrong with the sound?
Good morning. Good morning, Democrats. We need more. Paul. I need more sound. Good morning, Democrats.
Look at the body language. He is nervous, apologetic. He's unsure of himself. He doesn't seem confident. And that is not what leadership looks like. Voters can sense his weakness and defeat from a mile away. And here's the difference. President Trump turned being a Republican into something exciting, something about family, about freedom, and the unapologetic pride in being American. Listen to Jesse Waters sum it up perfectly on The Five.
This is like Trump, and he's running for class president. And his opponent is some nerd who's running on democracy and egalitarianism. And Trump gets out in front of the entire studio class and just says, we're bringing back Taco Tuesday. And the whole crowd goes crazy. And then he says, and you know what? we're going to have a salad bar for the ladies. And the ladies are like, all right. And he goes, and we're going to have hair and makeup professionally done for the cheerleaders because our cheerleaders are the hottest. And everyone's going crazy. And his opponent's like, well, that's sexist. And he goes, oh, and by the way, we're going to have prom at my dad's country club.
Exactly. And I think that's why many people, both young and old, gravitated towards Donald Trump. Politics is serious and boring enough. Most politicians do not have relatable personalities, and Trump changed that. But on a more serious note, even Democrat allies are calling for change.
He should have resigned if he felt that way. He's the leader, and he's crying, nobody knows me, and you said I can't now do my job. And all they've done is fight internally and remove a young person. He may disagree with them, but they eliminated extra voices. This is what they've done to fail themselves, that they pick who their nominee is instead of allowing them to have a normal primary. The number one thing they should do, change what they have been doing. Stop putting the losers out front. I'd change their current leadership. Hakeem can't make a decision. The new leader is going to be this new socialist mayor. And what I would go out there and do and be authentic. If he thinks he's not the leader, then let somebody else who really wants to be the leader lead them, because otherwise they're going nowhere and they're paying off the debt from the last person who only ran for 107 days.
He's right. If you cannot lead, then step aside and let someone who can. Instead, Democrats keep recycling weak leadership while their voters grow more and more frustrated. Listen, the Democrat Party is on life support, but do not think for a second that they are going to just fade away quietly. If conservatives want to keep winning, we need to show up in 2026 because every vote matters, every seat matters, and woke is not dead. It's just hibernating. And if we let them regain control, they'll be right back to the same cultural and political destruction that we have fought so hard to reverse. Boys will be beating your little girls in sports. You will not have any Social Security left to retire with their wasteful spending, and borders just might open back up. So you better vote like you mean it. But what do you think? Should the DNC chair resign? Is this the beginning of the end for the Democrats, or will they find a way to recover? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.